Episode 12 of the BTB Project. Thank you for your continued support as I've built out the Project podcast over these last few months. I've decided to tap into another series called BTB Project Shorts. In these episodes, you will be inspired by a short form motivational tip each and every week. Today's episode will focus around decision making. There are good decisions, there are bad decisions, and there is indecision. And I will walk you through some tips and tricks to help with your decision making. You'll be inspired by this episode and encouraged by the opportunities ahead for your life. Let's get into this. Impossible's nothing.
Don't be afraid of the dark. Be careful with stars. Not every light is gonna guide you, baby.
Welcome to the BTB Project, designed to empower listeners to identify their why and to live their best lives no matter the circumstances. My name is Coleman Gerhardt, a former athlete and motivational coach. I've had the opportunity to inspire thousands through my story and help accomplish what they are built to be. You'll be encouraged by each and every episode, and let's get into it.
Yeah, when I blow up, I'ma soar high like Peter Pan. In real life, be living out my dreams. If I'm waking up, it's in a foreign land.
A topic has come up recently when it comes to decision making, and it made me think back to times that I've had to make difficult decisions in my life. And a lot of the things that I'm going to share with you today are more around the importance of making that decision and taking action. One of the biggest motivators and mentors that I've had in my life is actually through another podcaster, Ed Mylatt. And he's very particular about the importance of making massive decisions, meaning taking action with those decisions, taking action with the things that you do each and every day in your life. And so many times when I reflect back, I think of all of the times that I've just been sitting in uncertainty thinking, well, should I buy this new car? Should I wait to go get this new house? Or, should I send my kids to private school or not send them to private school? And the whole time, it's just made me think about, gosh, I've spent so much time in indecision, and it made no sense to me. So what it comes down to is 85% of your problems should be solved immediately. They're not problems because you didn't have a system, strategy, or process to solve problems. They're problems just because they've been manifesting in your head in the wrong way. And this episode is to help you eliminate that. We're going to learn to be a decisive person. We're going to make sure that, we're making moves that are of certainty and that takes massive action. Those elements in itself will help you on obliterating this 85% of the problems that we have. Why do successful people get excited about challenges? Coming from my athletic background, I get excited about challenges because I have reached the mountaintop of whatever respective sport I was playing. I've been able to feel the success. I've been able to feel the failure. And that whole entire process just excites me. Each and every challenge that I set in front of myself excites me. And yes, it came from an athletic pedigree, but I've seen it in business. I've seen it in entrepreneurship. I've seen it in my health and fitness and well-being, and being able to find ways to continue to challenge myself. There are 3 foolproof steps to solving 85% of your problems. They're very simple. Step 1 is make a decision. Just make one. It might be a decision that leads to failure, but that decision is the first step for something that could be awesome. I remember when I wanted to start this podcast, I actually wanted to start it 13 years ago. And I kept developing all of these uncertainties and reflecting, thinking, I'm never going to be good enough. No one's going to want to listen to what I'm saying. And it struck me like, holy cow, why do I have all of this insecurity? There are stories to be shared. There are amazing, monumental moments that have happened that could help others. Why not tap into that? Make a decision. When I made the decision to start this podcast back in January, it's created a ripple effect of not just being able to have a platform to share stories for my own well-being, but it's connected people and it's reignited relationships that I've had that I never thought would be possible. Never thought it would be possible just because I'm speaking into a microphone. Make a decision. Step 2, flood yourself with certainty. In previous episodes, I've talked about positive affirmations, and I have this conversation a lot recently with people because I hear so many times the negativity and self-doubt and negative affirmations and negative self-talk. And I'm telling you right now, whatever you're verbalizing in your life, whatever you are verbalizing, the likelihood of that verbalization to become a physical outcome is about 90%. So why in the world would you not want to approach life in a positive lens? Each and every day you get to wake up and breathe air into your body. That's a good day. That's a great day. And I don't know what exactly everybody is going through right now, but what I do know in myself is being able to have that opportunity to positively impact people's lives by creating a positive message in my own head each and every day will allow it to pay forward. Make sure you find time to give yourself some credit. Make sure you find time to celebrate your successes. Make sure you find time to put yourself around people that when you do fail, that they're going to pick you up with that same positive message that you're saying to yourself. Number 3 is take massive action. Indecision is the worst decision. I cannot stress that enough. I've seen so many people spend their entire lives from birth to the grave having regrets of not making that decision, regrets of not pursuing that dream, regrets of not pursuing that relationship, regrets of not being a better parent, regrets of not being a better student. Regret. In one of my most recent podcasts, Chad Suda, I give you a lot of respect, man, because you taught your team how to play with no regrets. And that's not just a tangible lesson that is learned in athletics, but that's a tangible lesson that we learn in our life. When it comes to decision making, you really do only have 2 choices. It's either make a decision or don't make a decision. So when are those times that you don't want to make a decision? When are those times that if there is no indecisive moments, when is it appropriate not to make a decision? Well, here you go. When you're in an unstable state of consciousness, when you're stressed, when you're worried, when you're in fear, that is not a good time to make a decision. That's the time to reflect, to write down, to find the positive silver lining of why you want to make a particular decision. Now, in that state, you can also overanalyze, but what you're doing is you're getting the emotion out of the way and you're getting back into the true tangible reasons of why you want to do something. Each and every time you sit back and have that reflection, it makes that decision even more powerful.
So let's get into the why we make decisions. It is so important to understand that decisions are to help with solving problems, right? So let's dive into the 3 things that help solve any problem. The first one is to get that problem on a piece of paper. Oftentimes when we're looking at trying to make a decision on anything, we're doing it in a reactionary state. But being able to put that down on paper puts us into a proactive state. It allows us to, again, take that emotion out of that decision and allows us to be hyper-focused on, hey, these are the bullet points of the why it would be good to make this decision. These are the bullet points of why it would be bad to make this decision. It takes out all of the gray area and it gets you to a point of taking, yes, the most important part, which is action. Okay. Number 2 is all decisions are made on probability. Listen, you can make a decision to solve a problem and it might not ever solve that problem. The beauty is that you made that decision. And after making that decision, it at least gets you down the path of seeing if that decision you made worked or if it didn't work. And the quicker you get to that answer allows you to make another decision that gets you back on the path of where you need to be in order to accomplish what you're trying to do to solve your problem. And last but not least, the third is filter decisions through what is called the value clarity. Okay? Everybody has to have a why. The Built to Be project was built on this concept. I believe that when you define a why, when you decide what you're built to become, then you have these tangible reasons of what you can hold on to when push comes to shove, when things get hard, so that you're always in that why state. A why can overcome any how. And I truly believe that. And making sure that that clarity is always intact in each and every decision will get you to where you want to be sooner rather than later. Now, after defining those 3 rules that help you make better decisions for solving problems, you got to put it into action, okay? And my advice is master decision making today. The sooner you do it, the sooner the outcome will be of when you can have this trial of error of when a good decision is made or a bad decision is made that leads you towards your goals. A lot of people are often paralyzed by trying to make a decision. It goes back to how I started this conversation today. It took me 13 years to make a decision to start a podcast, but the whole time it was manifesting in my head of why am I not doing it? Why would I let, people think that, maybe it's not something that they want to listen to. And I have all of these negativity and self-doubt and emotions that are tied up into that situation. And at the end of the day, when you go out and just start, when I started with that first episode, it ended up being, again, this trickle effect of helping more people, having a platform that allowed me to really get some of the stuff out there that I've been, keeping inside or keeping in private, intimate settings with clients, of which can help more people than the people that I was helping face to face. From there, once you're able to start mastering decision-making, you're also mastering the ability to know how to fail, because not every decision that you're going to make is going to be a good decision. Every decision that you make is something that you can either learn from or earn from. And those are the types of tangible, important steps that I want each and every one of you to take as the listener. Listen, I don't know all of the answers to the world's problems, but what I do know when it comes to decision making, it's either make a decision and go for it or don't make a decision, okay? But 99% of the time, when you make a decision, no matter what, it changes the trajectory of your life. It puts you on a path that you never thought you would be on. It puts you in a direction that allows you to overcome the odds and do things that you never thought you would be able to do. So that's what I ask you to tap into today in this B2B project short, is what decision are you going to make today? What decision are you going to make today that's going to impact your life tomorrow? What decision are you going to make today that's going to impact your life 1, 3, 5 years from now? It all starts with making a decision today. Let's go use it. Let's be great. Impossible is nothing. And thanks for checking it out.